Hello, just let's turn this round so you can vaguely see me, because you won't see me that well because, well, candlelight, no other lights on. Obviously, sight will be limited on even the most modern camera systems. No. Anyway, right, now, I tried, very sincerely, I won't say soberly, but very sincerely and very, I hope, intelligently, argued why I'm standing for civil war and revolution throughout the Western world as we know it. The first world, as we used to call it, but now known as the Western world. Now, I didn't post it. There were a number of reasons for that. Firstly, it was a little bit angry. It was a little bit ill thought out. So, perhaps not post it. But also, hang on a minute. Am I going to post on YouTube and Twitter that I am fighting for revolution and civil war in Great Britain? Now, hang on a minute. Because I know the police occasionally, not always, but occasionally duck into my Twitter account and see what I've been saying. I also know that the CIA, NSA, MI5, MI6, Mossad, etc., even KGB, and whatever that one is called in China, are actually occasionally, not very often, I'm not a high target, but occasionally ducking into my phone. So if I post that on worldwide on the internet, because I don't restrict my accounts, then maybe it wouldn't be a good idea. Anyway, that's why I didn't post it. Also, when I woke up in the morning and was a little bit more clear thinking, I thought, actually, I'm not that revolutionary as what I said then. Maybe I was going a bit overboard. So, yeah, but I do want to state, I actually do want a fundamental revolution of the governmental system. Now, unlike many of those I work with, I'm not against King Charles III, as I certainly was not against a very good Christian lady, Queen Elizabeth II, or Queen Elizabeth I of Scotland, if you prefer those north of the border. So, yes, I'm not going to rebel against King Charles III, but what I do want is a fundamental revolution from top to bottom of the entire governmental system and constitution of Great Britain. Notice, Great Britain, not United Kingdom. Great Britain encompasses England, Scotland and Wales. So I'm leaving out Northern Ireland. They have some very unique issues with the London government, which actually the Scottish kind of cotton on to, at least some of them do. Wales and England have no idea about it. So we can't involve them in this. But what I want is a fundamental overhaul, or indeed as serious as a revolution in the governmental systems of the United Kingdom. I don't want to become a republic and end the monarchy. There's a difference. Now, what I'm saying by the word revolution. Right, now, I know many of those I work with would disagree. Some actually want to take up arms. Believe me, it is getting that serious. Those of us that are really worried about the direction the politics of this country is heading in, some actually want to take up arms. Obviously, no indication who they are. But most, in what I'm able to gather, is that most of my real brothers in arms and sisters in arms, we call ourselves brothers even if they're a woman, but we see many want a very forceful non-violent but very forceful revolution. Now, this is the way I would like to see it done. Remember, can you cast your mind back? I'm sure, even if you're young, you've already been taught this in school or college. The agricultural revolution, the introduction of the, the rotation theory. I think that was introduced by an agriculturist called Jethro Tull. Now, the rotation method, where you have three fields, then you have one for the vegetables, one for the wheat, rye, whatever you fancy, and one which was left completely empty, which you usually planted clover in to get a bit of honey from the bees. And that's good at replenishing the soil as it has its year of rest. Now, an agriculturist, I think his name was Jethro Tull, introduced this, and it revolutionised the whole food production system of the United Kingdom. Now, I think this happened around the 17th century. Then, as was well publicised in the opening ceremony of London's Olympic Games in 2012, we had the Industrial Revolution, which completely transformed the world. Great Britain had the Industrial Revolution. We invented steel, which was far better than the raw iron, and it transformed the world, as we do know. Really, despite the fact, yes, we do live in a space age, yes, we do live in a technological age, but fundamentally, as far as where we live is concerned, our homes, our bread and butter, our primary jobs, our friendship circles, where we relax, all that comes almost entirely from the industrial age philosophy, which I think goes back to mid-18th century, maybe as late as early 19th century. I'm not sure. I'm not good on dates, which is why I didn't take history as advanced level college work. I did a taster day, but that put me off. So I'm glad I did it, otherwise I may have taken the course. So it actually worked. Now, what I want to say here is what I favour in terms of revolution is something along those lines. Remember, there were protests. There were protests to the agricultural revolution and the industrial revolution. There were protests, peaceful protests, which sometimes turned violent. There were lots. But generally, the agricultural revolution and industrial revolution were peaceful. A few picket lines with people with pitchforks, the occasional person with a pitchfork through their stomach, required a couple of bandages or even perhaps a few spades for a burial. Nothing major. What we are seeing now is a call to arms in the minority. No, I'm not talking about Arabs or Indians or who else, Russians or Polish or whoever. I'm not talking about those. No, I'm talking about homegrown terrorism. There are very few actually calling for arms against this system that has so got us spending money on credit card and bank loans that actually we haven't got, we'll never be able to pay back. We know we won't be able to pay back, but we think, well, I can put the world over their eyes. I'll get a bit extra for my kiddie's Christmas present early by 3 months. But, of course, there are those calling for that. Most want a middle way of a fairly violent revolution, but without actually taking up arms. I'm advocating a far softer approach. But it is clear from the way society is going, and I look a lot at my local society here in the Hidden Kingdom. I also watch the British news and Irish news, and I also keep a very good eye out on international news, not on a daily basis, but at least 2 or 3 times a week. So I do know what's going on in the world. And the thing is, If we don't, this isn't a rhetorical question. This isn't a question which requires an answer. This is me telling you. This is me telling you what I know. This isn't about your opinion. This is what I know to be true. Your opinion don't matter. This is fact. This is truth. You can't have an opinion about absolute truth. If we don't have some sort of revolution, whether violent, moderately violent, or peaceful, we will die as Great Britain. What will follow? No idea, but I don't think we're going to be living as well-to-do as we are now. Now, please, wake up and either join in a peaceful revolution, semi-violent revolution, or take up arms and fucking storm anyone you disapprove of, because there is no other solution other than those three options. Now wake up.